So FC25 so far is... Drop it in the comments, boys. Get in the comments down below. Let me know if you could describe FC25 in one word so far. Only one word. What word would you choose? Drop that in the comments. And I think the comments section on this video might be an interesting place, boys, once this video gets posted, man. And yeah, I just want to make today's video, boys, as I say, it's a bit of a general discussion video on FC25 so far. Because obviously, you know, time recording this, it's Friday. Road to the Knockout promo drops tonight on the game. Actually, today is the worldwide launch of FC25. You boys are going to get this video 2 days later, which will be on Sunday evening. The 29th, but yeah, the worldwide launch is today. And as I say, I've been on the game. A lot of you boys, I'm sure, have been on the game for over a week now. You know, from the web app and then on to the game last Friday from the early access. So yeah, I want to make this video and give you boys my general thoughts on the game so far, because I think for me at the minute, boys, I'm not super positive. I'm not super negative. I am very firmly in the middle. And I want to kind of do a bit of a breakdown on my experiences of playing the game so far. Over the week I've played it from all sorts of modes, from Rush to Champs to Rivals to whatever else, SBCs, content, gameplay, menus, everything. Cover everything. I will chapterize, if that's even a word, the video so you boys can break it down. Now, starting off with the gameplay, boys, I can't tell whether I like it or I really, really hate it, because it feels like... I feel like this year, you know, the gameplay at the minute does seem a little bit more like football. Now, in my opinion, it's still nothing like football, but I think it is better than FC24. It's more realistic than 24 was, which wouldn't be hard, to be fair. Now, saying that, we do have things like, you know, the speed boost glitch in the game at the minute, and obviously, you know, speed boosts... you know, isn't exactly very football realistic. It isn't very authentic, is it? But yeah, that aside, I do definitely prefer the gameplay this year at the minute compared to what last year's was. Now, with all that being said, though, boys, don't get me wrong. I mean, we are a week into the game. And I always find that with the start of a new FIFA or FC now, second year of FC, of course, because we're so used to using, like, the 99 cards of last FIFA, when it really does get the silly season, I always describe it as, like, silly season with FIFA, where the cards just get ridiculous, and, like, no football is played late on in a FIFA cycle. It's literally just ping-pong, speed boost, you know, abusing meta skill moves, you know what I mean, finesse shots from stupid angles, all those kind of things, right? Whereas start of a new FIFA, the gameplay is a lot slower, and I think when the game speed is a lot slower, I don't mean like in terms of pace, but I just mean the game actual speed itself. It's a lot slower. I feel like that makes it feel probably more authentic and more, you know, slightly more realistic towards like an actual football game you're playing. But that, as I say, we're only in the first week of the game. So, you know, will we still be saying this, say, you know, in October, late in October, or November, or Christmas time? When obviously there's way more meta cards in the game by then, and people's teams are way more stronger, and the game speed's going to be a lot quicker. I'm not so sure. But I always do enjoy this time of the year for FIFA, you know, for that reason as well. Because, yeah, the game does feel like a more like football game where you actually have to, like, use your brain in terms of attacking rather than just, like, abusing, like, random shots. And don't get me wrong, like, finesse shots and stuff like that there are still crazy early in the game. Like, I've scored a load already with Youngmin Son on the loan that I used for him. But I just think that the game speed's a lot slower at this early, like, the first couple of weeks of the game. That does definitely help with the kind of experience of the game early on in terms of, you know, it does feel a little bit more realistic. So yeah, gameplay so far, boys, as I say, I don't want to comment too much on it because, you know, it has its negatives, it has its positives in my opinion. I do like it more than FC24, the gameplay at the end of 24, but as I say, it's early days, we're in the first week of the game, so nothing too much to say on that at the minute. In regard to player roles, right, I've been a big fan of these. Yeah, I wasn't sure what my thoughts were on them when the trailer dropped. I didn't know whether EA were just, like, overcomplicating things. Obviously, each player has certain player roles, right, and obviously, you know, that makes their player in that position more effective or less effective, depending on what roles you use them in. Now, I'm not, like, really focusing in on roles on every single one of my players, but, like, from a strikers, for example, I'll show you boys what I'm using now at the minute as well, man. So, I've got this Thuram SBC, and obviously with the Nunes beside him, right? So, what I'm using at the minute, in terms of the player roles, if we move ourselves over here, advanced forward and poacher seem to be some of the good ones for, I mean, obviously, with all this being said, boys, it does depend, obviously, on the players you've got in your squad, right? So, roles that I'm using, for example, and tactics that I'm using might not necessarily suit your players. You know, that goes without saying, of course. But, and also, it depends on your play style also, and the way you play your game. But for me, this advanced forward and this poacher, in terms of my forward players, really liking it so far, boys. In terms of, like, the poacher just seems to give, like, Nunes more positioning for me, rather than just, I found last year some of my attackers just, like, made the most pointless runs where they run towards the centre-back rather than away from them. So, you know, rather than creating space or for themselves or others, they're like literally taking up the space of another player. Poacher seems to be like Nunes gets himself in the right areas to get those goals, as the poacher name would suggest. Advanced forward's a bit of an all-rounder, I feel like, with Thuram, and he does a little bit of everything for me. So, really liking those so far. Now, I haven't really went into depth into the defending playstyles, to be honest, too much yet, or the defending roles. The midfielder ones, now Joe Linton, right? I'm actually using him on the centre half. Obviously, you'll see a little orange like icon there with the exclamation mark, like it's saying, you know, he's in a position and this role's not really specific to him or suitable for him, but he's doing a great job with that, man. I have him like dropping into the centre-back position, taking the ball off the back four and moving from there, and he's really effective at doing that. Although, I can't say a bad word about Joe Linton so far, boys. He has been my favourite card early in this game. Absolutely carried me to 15 wins in Rivals last week. The guy's a machine, man. Barella beside him is very nice as a holding player as well. And then in terms of my wingers, now, this here, see this here with Werner and Traore, right? This half winger thing. So obviously with the 4-2-2 boys, I'm obviously, you know, these wingers, technical wingers, you know, Werner and Traore, technically they're going to be moving in field anyway, because it's a central formation. It's a 4-2-2 here, and I'm not using the wide one where you have, you know, the right mid and left mid and two CDMs. It's more the cams, right? So, but using the half winger I find to be really effective. I was actually using it on Werner, but then I'm having good success using him as playmaker now. But Traore I've kept on half winger. There'll be better cards than Traore to do this with, because Traore, you know, we all know he's a bit of a pace merchant, so he's not the most technical player. But yeah, this I find to be very effective. Your player drops really centrally from the wide areas, and yeah, I find it to create, you know, it creates another body up front that the defenders have to worry about in the opposition team. It's basically like a bit of a free roam, which sometimes in FIFA's not good, but I have to say I'm really enjoying it so far this year. Yeah, this half winger, boys, I'm enjoying it so far. Now, it does say that a midfielder provides width when their team is in possession, but I actually find the opposite sometimes, and I don't mind that. You know, I don't mind if Traore wants to hug the touchline, because obviously he's got the attributes that make that beneficial for him. But I also find with Traore, and also I find this when I use Werner in that kind of half winger role as well, they do move centrally some of the time as well. They're quite central. I know the formation dictates that because it's a 4-2-2 central one, so they're going to be a little bit more central anyway. But I do find they drop, you know, they do drop quite centrally. It's nearly like they're central cams at times, and that's good for me the way I play. Because I have got, if you see my tactics here as well, boys, I'm using like a short passing build up. So the amount of like players that I've got and like passing options I've got whenever I'm moving the ball from Joe Linton and Barella up the pitch, brilliant. It really does create a lot more attacking options for me. So yeah, player roles, as I say, there's so much you can get into detail with, but I'm really enjoying it so far. Right, boys, we've got to mention about this, man. How much of a joke is Rivals this year? All right, we you know, it's got to be said. And listen, I was live for you boys on Thursday morning, past there. And we opened our rewards. I opened my rewards for Div 6, which I'm now in Div 5. I don't really know whether I want to go much higher, though. But yeah, Div 6 rewards I had on Thursday morning, and I opened a lot of your boys' sets rewards as well, all the way from Div 4 rewards up to Div like 7 or 8 rewards. I've got to say, right, you know, two things, really. Firstly, 15 wins, as, you know, I'm sure I'll not be the first person you boys will hear that have said this, because everyone pretty much, I think, in the community right now is in agreement with this. But 15 wins, man, is an absolute chore. I'm sorry. And to make things a chore in the first week of a new game is crazy. But it really, really is. It's far, far, far too much, man. 15 wins. I know, yes, 15 wins or 14 wins and 3 draws. Draws do count as a point each time. Losses don't count as anything. But yeah, man, I think it's an absolute joke. I really do. And I know, you know, comparing this year to last year in terms of Rivals, like the rewards, boys, I don't think they add up either. I said this on stream the other day as well. In the early morning stream there on Thursday. Like, the rewards actually seem like they've dropped off for, like, I you know, Div 6 rewards, Div 5 rewards, right? If we have a little look at them here, man, very briefly, just live on this video. If you go into Rivals, right, say, for example, I get 15 wins in Rivals this week for Div 5, right? So, let me just go back out of here, and then we go into here. Div 5 rewards, right? So if I get all the way to 45 points, preview rewards, I get a mega pack, one of 284 plus player pick, a 75 times 10 and a 75 25. Thing with these is like, what it is, right? Mega pack, player pick, that's well and good. 25,000 coins, no problem with that. The thing lies with me is that they've kind of replaced, like, last year I swore you were getting like 50k packs. Now you had the option of choosing like multiple 50k packs if you went with untradeable options. Now we're getting these like 75 plus times 10, 75 times 25, which depends on the way you want to look at it. I mean, yes, it stacks a lot of cards in your club, but how many of those cards are actually going to be, like, usable or sellable? Well, one of them you literally can't sell because the pack's untradeable anyway. But, like, even in the 75-10, like, are you really going to get someone who's either going to be worth a bit of coins or actually going to go into your team? Chances are slim. And I know rewards are all, you know, they're always hit or miss with FIFA, right? Usually more miss than hit. But I just think that the rewards have took a bit of a drop off this year, and we're having to get more wins to get them. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, something ain't sitting easy with me here, yeah. It really isn't, man. It ain't sitting easy with me, this. We're sweating our ass off here for more wins, for less rewards. I don't get it. I think those 75 packs, boys, 75 plus 10, 75 plus 2, 75 plus times 25, I think they're an absolute load of shit, boys, if I'm completely honest, man. I really do. I just don't rate the pack, you know? I really do not rate that pack. So, yeah, listen, prove me wrong on Thursday. Yeah, give me an Mbappe and rewards, let's say. But, yeah, I really think rewards have dropped off a little bit, and but for by that fact, right, it's the 15 wins as well. You know, the 15 wins, we're playing more than we did last year for it. Way more, by the way. It is mental. It is absolutely mental. And as I say, I struggled, boys. I got my 15th win midnight on Wednesday night into Thursday morning. So, like, I had to get it done because obviously I was live that morning for opening the rewards for you boys. But I don't know, man. I mean, is this going to be sustainable? And then you think when we get to the higher divisions, man, you know, it's only going to get more and more tough. Like, start of a new FIFA, I always have the motivation. I'm like, right, this is your year, Jack. You're getting to Div 1 this year, or Elite Division, like I did a few years ago. You're going to grind your ass off, get the best rewards possible for content for you legends. And then EA, you go and drop 15 games a week. You know, and it feels more like a chore than enjoyable gameplay and enjoyment to do. You know, fun to do. So, yeah, you know, the higher we go in the divisions, boys, it's only going to get more and more sweaty, man. 15 wins. I don't know if it's sustainable. I really don't. Get your thoughts in the comments on that one. On a more positive note, though, can we just take a second? Positive of the video, Rush. Absolutely. Credit where credit's due. Listen, I hate EA, boys. You know, I say it all the time on stream. You know, we all do. I think we all do right at this point. You know, EA are losing fans by the minute every single FIFA, man. You know, with the stuff they do. But one thing I will give them credit for this year is this Rush mode. In my opinion, and I know a lot of people are liking this mode as well so far, I've really enjoyed playing this so far. Now, it is a bit of a grind, I will say that, in terms of, like, the objectives. I think the maximum was 70,000 points. But I'm really enjoying this so far. It's bite-sized FIFA. Coming into this year, I was a little bit, you know, skeptical about it, because they tried that with Volta last year. They tried that with Moments, and Moments kind of failed last year as well. And I thought, you know, bite-sized FIFA is great. You know, people, you know, that maybe are flat out working, you know, don't have too much time to come on. They come on in the evening and they've got 20, 30 minutes to play. What can they do? You know, have a bit of fun in the game. So, you know, for the casual players as well. And I was always skeptical coming into this year, you know, with this Rush mode. It all sounded too good to be true. But I've got to say, man, I'm really enjoying it so far. The gameplay's fun. You know, a viewer on the stream the other day described Rush to me as like a basketball game, the way the transitions are, the fast-paced gameplay. And I think that's quite a good, you know, a good summary of it, to be honest. That's what the game feels like, the gameplay feels like. It's fast-paced, end-to-end attacking. And as I say, I've played this with both you boys, I've played with viewers on stream on release night, and I've obviously played with randoms as well. And, you know, randoms can be a little bit annoying if they don't pass and they're hogging the ball and just, you know, dribbling into defenders all the time. But at the same time, whether I play with viewers or randoms, I've got a good amount of success from it, and I've enjoyed the gameplay, man. So, Rush for me, they've got it spot on, boys. I think bite-sized FIFA this year, it's good fun. It really, really is. And I don't see myself getting tired of Rush, especially if they keep refreshing things like different, maybe change some of the rewards and the objectives weekly, because I think there's going to be like a weekly Rush kind of objective, isn't there? They obviously are changing the different players we can use from it. At the minute, as you can see, it's just the standard one, but like, you know, they could refresh that later, and it might be you can only use players with, you know, 60 pace or under or something, you know what I mean? They did that one the other day, like Slow It Down, I think it was called. So they're giving you different challenges, which obviously makes it fresh as well. But yeah, that's the positive, man. I definitely will give this a thumbs up, definitely, because it's got the footy seal of approval, this one, because Rush for me this year, W. Really, really enjoying it so far. Right, now moving back over to the squad, boys. Yeah, there does seem a big focus again this year with EA on evolutions. And yet again, I think it's another good thing, man. A lot of you boys that watched the channel for a while will know your boy Fuddy last year did like 2 Evos the whole year, man. Evos just was not my thing. But I did make a pledge at the end of FC24 a few weeks ago, saying to you boys that FC25, I'm going to put a lot more grind and effort in terms of doing Evos. And I've already done, as you can see, four Evos this year already in my main team. So I've done more already in this FIFA than I've done of the whole last FIFA. And we're only a week in. But I've liked it so far, I gotta say. I mean, I had my say on Joe Linton at the start of this video. He's been amazing for me so far as an 82. Brilliant as an 84. Then we obviously have Delo, who he's been my favourite fullback I've used so far. I've had no one better that I've used in the game so far, so he's been really, really good, and obviously evolutioned him as well. Akanji, I think I made a bit of a mistake on him, because I think he's a good card, and there's no problem evoing him, but the mistake I made, boys, was obviously, and a viewer told me about this on stream the other day, he's already got 78 pace, and I put him into, like, the Sprint Supreme, which means that, like, the cap was, like, 79 pace or 80 pace or something, or whatever it was. He was only, basically, I should have put, like, a defender that only had, like, 70 pace, so they'd get the maximum boost on the pace stat, whereas I put a Kanji who didn't really have much more of a threshold to grow on. Do you know what I mean? But, yeah, Werner, obviously, I'm using him as well with an Evo 81. So, really enjoying it so far. There is some ones that you don't want to do. You know, there's a couple in there that you're paying points or coins for. Like that purple AA one they released last week, and it's literally just to change the color of the card, and you're spending like 500 FIFA points. No thank you, EA. No thank you. But apart from that, I think they're doing a good job on Evo so far. Now, we're not even going to talk about Champs Qualifiers yet, boys, because, I mean, I think we all know what that's going to be like. I haven't even started mine yet, man, as you can see. 0 out of 5, 5 games left, 3 wins out of 5 this year again is so difficult. I made the point the other day on stream. I said that, I think I said that it would actually be better if you give us 6 wins from 10 you needed. And I know that's technically the same in a way, because 3 from 5, 6 from 10, you're still in the same ratio, right? However, I just think if you've more games, I think my point with only having 5 games is, like, say you jump on, right? Because I know myself, boys, and I'm sure I'm not alone on this. I jump on the FIFA some days, and I have a great day, and I win like 4 or 5 games, you know, against good opponents. And then I could play those same opponents the next day and absolutely bottle every single one of them. My point is, if I go on one day and I have a bad day, a bad first game, and I lose my first champs game, then I need to win 3 of my next 4. It just seems like it's too high a bar, in my opinion, to qualify. I know, obviously, if you don't qualify, you just do your rivals again and reset the points and go again, right? But it is going to be very, very difficult to qualify. 3 from 5 is tough. That's why I think keep the same ratio, but do 6 from 10. So at least then, you know, you're still going to have the EA want the high bar this year with champs, and I agree with that. I think that's a good thing, even though it will make champs very sweaty. I do agree with them making it hard to get into champs. You know, because it's going to be the ultimate test, if you like, of gameplay, and, you know, matching against the matchmaking is going to be very, very difficult. I think, though, by having the 10 games, it gives more of a, you know, you're forgiven if you have a bad game. You know, if I lose my first game, then, you know, and I go 6-3, then 6-3 is a solid record. You're still, that's, you know, I've proved myself to be good enough to get a champs then. Do you know what I'm saying? But I just think you get a really good player, you know, and then loses the first game, and then immediately they need to win 3 from 4. The pressure's right on there, man, you know? Whereas it'd be a little bit, it gives you a little bit more leeway, while still proving you're good enough to qualify if it was like a 6 wins from 10 scenario. Just my opinion, just putting it out there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on that one. Now, SB season content, I'm going to keep this brief, boys. I think generally, going through the SBCs at the minute, we'll take a wee look here as well, man, in terms of objectives as well. I think the objectives, obviously, the World Tour promo's been out this week, kind of promo, if you want to call it that, like it's objective-based. I've done a little bit of it, I haven't done too much of it, to be honest, but, yeah, I think content in terms of SBCs and objectives so far, game's only been out for a week. So we're certainly not in, like, you know, Icon Pack season, or Icon Pack SBC, Hero Pack SBC, Hero Play Pack. You know, we're nowhere near that type of content being released yet. Nor would I have the fodder, I'm sure, nor would you boys have the fodder for putting those type of high-rated players into those type of SBCs, like the Icon Pack, Hero Pack, etc. We're nowhere near that yet. So, I think so far, obviously they're doing these upgrade packs with a few 82 pluses this week, 77 doubles there, as you can see, 3 a day for those. Obviously, Haaland drop, which has been the big money SBC of the game so far, and I know a lot of people are looking at him, but obviously, it's in terms of whether you can afford it or not. Very, very pricey SBC, to say the least. But generally, I think players, that Thuram, my team, boys, he is a beast. And I wasn't actually planning on doing him. You know, I acknowledged him as a good card. We obviously review teams for you boys on stream each day. Whenever that card released the other night on the 6 PM content, I know a lot of you boys did it, because I've seen him in your teams. And I acknowledged him as a good card and a good SBC to do. But until I packed that Barella the other morning, boys, I was not planning on getting Thuram. But now getting Thuram made sense for me, so that's why I did it. But he's been a great card. There's been a few other ones here, like Alex Garcia, Fran Navarro. Like, you know, these type of cards, obviously, they're to do with objectives as well. So you can help, you know, be getting those done, like the World Tour Garcia, for example. It's obviously helping you do further things for more packs and stuff. You know, barring the Haaland, there's been no real crazy SBC. I think that Danjuma's not a bad card as well. Obviously, Spanish League, I think he is, isn't he? Yeah, good for Girona, yeah. So, yeah, I don't think content's been too bad recently. Upgrade packs, you know, the World Tour cards, they've not been awful. Probably just give it a standard 6 out of 10, boys. Nothing crazy, but nothing, you know, completely awful yet. And I think maybe now that the launch is out, you know, the full game is worldwide release now, as of today. I think the content might just, start going up a little bit, go up a notch a wee bit. So let's hope for that. But I certainly wouldn't be sitting here complaining about in terms of the SBC review so far, the content review in general over the first week of the game, because I think it's early days. We've all been playing on early access technically. I think generally so far what's been released from a mixture of objectives, the promo, and obviously, like upgrade packs and stuff, I think it's been alright. The only thing I wouldn't say that's alright with the content is these here kits, man. Icon home and icon away. EA trying to make us indulge, boys, in the old FIFA points, man, to try and get some extra XP. Not for me. Not for me. And then, boys, we couldn't have a review video on FC25 without talking about the EA fucking servers, could we? So, listen, I mean, on the servers so far, I'll be honest, there's a lot of occasions where I have been, the menus have been super slow. The main things that seem to like affect my game, boys, at the minute is when I'm searching, like, when you're typing the player names into the market. It seems to be like really button laggy or really slow on that. Many times I've been typing a name out and then, I miss out a letter because the game's like delayed me put the input, if you know what I mean. So search on the transfer market, like player selection when you're doing SBCs, there are two of the things that I've find the most to be the most frustrating when the menus are slow in this first week of the game. But in terms of actual gameplay, in game, I haven't actually had, I think I've only had one DC so far. And yeah, the gameplay's actually felt smooth enough to me, surprisingly. So the servers in terms of actually in game so far for me haven't been that bad. It's more been the menus I've found have been really slow and just like sluggish and not really, yeah, they've just felt clunky, man, not smooth at all. So yeah, hopefully they try and address that. Whether they will or not remains to be seen. But yeah, I think so far my experience of the servers haven't actually been that bad. But yeah, time will tell on that one, boys. Time will tell on that one. As I say, they need to improve the menus, definitely, though. But I want to know your boys' thoughts. Let me know all things EA FC25 in the comments, boys. I'm going to be reading them all, hearting them all, and obviously replying to them all as well. Get your questions in if you have anything to ask as well. Yeah, I hope this video's been helpful, especially as well. I'm just thinking this video might be helpful for those of you boys that are debating buying this game as well. I know a lot of our community has the game already. One way or another, whether it's, as of today, or whether it's, from the early access last week, whatever way you've got it, yeah, but if you're one of these people who haven't bought the game yet and maybe wondering, is it worth it? As I say, I couldn't even give you a definite answer because I feel like the game is, as I say, I have my positives with it and I have my negatives with it, and it's kind of like yeah, it's a double-edged sword at the minute for me. There's some real things that I really think, yes, this is a step in the right direction, it's good. There's other things where I think, it's a new year and it's same old with the year, so yeah, very mixed opinions so far from me, boys. It's only a week old though, so yeah, maybe I'll do another one of these videos maybe in a month's time and we'll give you boys a bit of an update, man. But get your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading them all. Really interested to see your boys' take on the game, and your early experience of playing the game in the first week of gameplay. And yeah, as I say, please hit the like button. The likes really do help us out, boys. By hitting the like, you're sharing it out on YouTube essentially to new people. It pops up on people's home pages, on the search higher, on the algorithm, all that kind of thing, man. And if you are watching this and you're seeing your boy Fuddy's face for the first time, you're new to the channel, I'd really appreciate if you go down there, take a second, smash that sub for your boy. As I say, we're nearly, at the time of this video goes up, boys, we're super close to 6.8k subs, which would be an amazing end of the weekend for your boy if we could hit that. So yeah, if you're new, you're hearing these words right now, as I say, it's free to do so. I'd really appreciate, boys, if you could take a second, smash that red subscribe button for your boy. Very much appreciate that. And yeah, hope the video's been helpful, hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you boys in the next one, man. Peace out.